Hi, thanks for joining us here on this edition of Media Champions. I'm Mary Therese, your host in Atlanta, and on Daily Ad Brief, we like to bring together folks who understand the world of media and marketing, and we're going to dive right in and find out what they know and share it with all of you. Today on the program, we have Ned MacPherson. He is with us from Endrock Growth. Ned, thank you so much for taking time to be with us today on Media Champions.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about what you do because it's very important. It's very important that you're able to help people tell their story. And I know you've been doing this a while. How did you get into this?
Yeah, so I have a background in statistics and kind of always had this fascination, so to speak, with kind of digging below the surface and understanding how businesses scale by metrics. And what I mean by that is understanding first and foremost with any like digitally centric brand where data is abundant, and with abundant data comes a lot of insight. And with insights comes an study the best performing cohorts of customers, how you could understand the best page path analysis, like as people are moving through a site or an application, be it web or native mobile, and if the top converting paths are, understanding which channels inbound kind of have the highest index rates, which is really just a fancy way of saying which ones drive the most revenue contribution. And that kind of, passion of mine really drove into developing out a full service agency, which does just that, growth and analytics. So working with a lot of direct-to-consumer e-commerce brands, consumer-facing mobile or web applications, and first and foremost, just digging below the surface to study their consumer journeys from a kind of a metric-driven approach, and then coming up with this empirically backed experimentation strategy where we could say, hey, let's run some experiments based on these metrics that we found. We determined that, maybe we're underperforming by about 25% here. I think if we run some cyclical ideation, we might be able to get that metric up on par to where it really, really should be. And again, that could be a conversion rate metric, could be average order value, repeat rate, viral coefficient, et cetera. So yeah, that's always kind of been my focus in my career. And yeah, we've scaled quite a bit.
You clearly have to do the education portion with your clients because most clients the numbers that they are so attached to, of course, are the dollar numbers and what they spend and what their return on their investment is. But I'm sensing that you guys fill in the gaps there with all of this analytics. Can you tell me maybe what surprises you most about clients or potential clients, what they don't understand about the analytics? Because there are 6 different ways to Sunday, as you know, to try to analyze where that correct audience is for them, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, great question. And honestly, I'm going to stay super fundamental with the answer, which most brands that I get surprised on don't even know how to really utilize the tools that they have access to understand from an empirical standpoint what's going on. A lot of them are good at understanding the brand narrative, understanding at maybe some of the qualitative data. But when I really sit there and ask them and I say, where's the weak point in your funnel? And like specifically, not conversion rate, I mean like intra-funnel conversion rate. What I'm looking for them to answer is to say, hey, look, on iOS, like mobile iPhone devices, we really struggle on the add to cart rate, especially with females age 34 to 45, right? Something like that. That's the type of granular answer I'm looking for when I'm speaking with a client, which shows that they've studied their funnel and really extracted out granular detail to come up with those types of conclusions. So what I find is that most don't even know where to look to find that information, let alone the ability to kind of derive good actionable insight out of it.
Which brings me to my final question for you, and that has to do with partnering, because oftentimes a business, big or small, will have an internal media and marketing department, and that's fine. But it's pretty crucial that they partner with a subject matter expert like yourself. Why?
Yeah, I think for exactly that reason. I mean, we specialize with a lot of brands in the health and wellness space. Certainly, fashion's actually our biggest segment, and they're super hyper focused on what they do well, which is resonating well with an audience in terms of, again, that brand narrative, et cetera, and then matching that up with the merchandise that the product, or I should say, the brand is putting out in their next product line. There's very few people on the team who can then take that empirical side of that and then blend it together as part of the narrative. So we take a very fresh approach, I'd like to say, to brands' growth projection and their growth plans. And then when we tie in kind of the experiential factor, because again, we work with about 150 different e-commerce sites from 1 million up to about 110 million in annual revenues. So we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of what works, what doesn't work from a conversion rate standpoint. So just kind of armed with that experience, Using, for instance, our team or our agency as a bolt-on solution tends to magnify or augment the power that some of the other paid media teams, SEO teams, email teams, even web teams are driving with their organization.
Ned MacPherson, I think you're awesome sauce. Thank you for carving out time to be with us on Media Champions. I hope you'll come back and chat some more.
Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. The rest of you, we can help you by making that connect to Ned. All you do is you find us at dailyadbrief.com. Do come back for more Media Champions. I'm your host, Mary Therese in Atlanta. Make it a great day.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.